Everybody, you're back on the Joey Ciccone Show, Connected World Center of Broadcast Media. I'm coming from you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. On the phone, a friend of mine, okay, Artie Pasquale, The Sopranos. I can name other movies, which I will after a bit. A new film that he just finished with some friends of ours, The Brooklyn Banker. We're going to talk about that. Artie, what... for the friends and fans, they're asking a lot of questions. What's an interesting story from the set of The Sopranos that you can kind of share with us? Be kind of nice, like get a little insight.
Well, first of all, for those of people that don't remember, my character was Bert Gervasi, that's Burtgervasi, and I was with Tony Soprano and his crew, and then in the end, I met my demise probably. Got strangled by Silvio next to the last episode.
Yeah, because I say
proudly because if you want to get killed, The Sopranos was a show to get killed on.
Yeah,
remember that.
Because I had questions about that, and I was like, "Hey, man, I still want to work. No, we're gonna kill you off."
So I was playing both sides, and you don't do that. And I was telling the story to Silvio, and he was Tony Soprano's #1 man. So eventually they had to. I had to meet my demise. And then, when you do the read-through on a Monday, it was on a Monday, and you get all the actors around the table, you read the script.
Right.
And it's funny because you didn't have privy to the script, maybe Gandolfini did, but we didn't. Most people, they would always look to the end of the script for that episode to see if your name was there. So when I get the script, first, before I even got a chance to see it, Gandolfini, Tony Soprano, he comes walking over to me and pats me in the back. He says, "Well, it was nice knowing you, Bert." He said, "Right." So I said, "Oh no." So I look in the back, and it was the end of me. It was the scene where I was going to get killed.
That was it. That's the demise, and that's how they write it.
I met my demise.
And
an interesting story. If your listeners want to hear this. Story that I haven't told.
Of course they want it. Of course, anything. I got questions coming up.
I grew up in Providence, Rhode Island, in a typical Italian neighborhood. And I told David Chase this story many years ago. And these writers, they keep this stuff, these creators, they keep this stuff in their head. And this is like 20-something years later. He used this story that I gave him. It's a true story. My aunt and uncle had if you listeners remember the first episode of The Sopranos, the very first episode, this actually occurred, and this is how the Artie Bucco character got started.
Okay.
My aunt and uncle had a little cafe restaurant in Federal Hill, this attack section, and they used to take care of the local, I'll say wise guys for the sake of a better word. Anyway, a guy used to come in there every day at 1 o'clock, and this guy was going to be shot in their restaurant. And they offered my aunt and uncle a trip to go to Bermuda because they didn't want the guy to be killed in there because then nobody would go to the restaurant and get a bad reputation. And this is exactly what happened in that first episode of The Sopranos, if you remember.
Yeah.
So what did they do? These guys, as a favor, and Tony Soprano does this in the episode, they blew my uncle's restaurant up as a favor to him so he could collect the insurance.
Make you nice.
Think,
Nice, I love it.
So the guy couldn't go in there. He went to another restaurant down the street, and they shot him in that restaurant.
I'd be like, before you blow it up, make sure I get everything good out of the restaurant.
That's what they didn't want to go for. He was saying he was doing a favor. So David Chase named the character Artie Bucco. He named Artie after my name, the first name, and Bucco is David Chase's grandfather's name. So that's how that character kind of got created. And every time I see John Beniglia, who plays Artie Bucco,
right,
we give each other a hug and stuff because, in a sense, his character went on and on and on. Kind of starting with the story that I gave David Chase, so it's pretty interesting.
Well, it's a beautiful story. You're sharing it with our fans. I want to knock before they start to accumulate. Just some real quick answers, real quick. Doms, thanks for coming in. I love The Sopranos. Does he still act and produce from Vinny? Do you still act and produce?
Yeah, I'm still acting. Got a lot of things that I've been doing. As a matter of fact, I've done a couple of things with Vinny Pat's story, Big Pussy.
Yes.
For those of viewers that those listeners, that was his nickname in The Sopranos. So I'm not
Right.
being dirty here.
Right, he's not trying to.
Anyway, I did a play called Mama's Chair that he directed, and looks like we're going to make it into a film.
Nice.
I just did another film with him, 2 films, one called Pasquale's Magic Veal. It just happens to be coincidentally named with myself, with Danny Grimaldi, who played Patsy in The Sopranos.
Beautiful, beautiful. How did you get
And,
the?
I'm doing another one with Pastore. We've been pretty close with Pastore and myself.
Yeah, well, you-
Silvio,
Well, you work
Steven Van Zandt.
you work together and you help each other out. How did you get the part in The Sopranos by my friend Jill?
Well, like I said, I told Chase that story years ago, and I was in his company a few times, and I guess I had the look, I say that I get the look to be in that type of role, I guess, and
Yeah, you got a great you got a great look.
I might get in, and
Scotty,
I
show all the.
for a couple of different roles, and I ended up with this role. But it was a matter of auditioning, and it was a long process. A lot of people, everybody wanted to get in the show once you get started, as you know, it just got out of control.
Of course, and as being an actor and being on auditions, did you have the inside ride, or was it just like, hey man, we're going to audition and we're going to see who's going to win the part?
No, I mean, I had to prove myself. I auditioned,
Okay.
like I said, for a couple of different roles, and then didn't hear from them, and then they called me up and said, they want you to come in for this role, and I did it, and next thing you know, I got accepted, so it was great, and it was a wonderful, wonderful experience, as you can imagine.
Very nice from my friend Tyler. Tyler, thanks for tuning in to the Joey Ciccone Show, Connected. How long were you on the show?
Well, I was on it for 4 seasons as a recurring. I wasn't in every episode, but I was on for 4 different seasons, and I would recur. I would be occasionally here, occasionally there. And my character was basically, I used to make collections with Patsy.
Yeah.
We were kind of a comical team. He was a little guy. Patsy was the guy whose son was going out with Tony Soprano's daughter.
Yeah.
And he was this little guy, and I was the tall guy, and we'd go around making different collections. Chicken store, Starbucks, and that kind of thing. Not Starbucks, but...
It's beautiful, man. My friend Dom's, he's always on the show asking questions. Such a good show to be on. One of the best. You got to feel honored, and you got to feel good in your heart that you had a show that ran so long that you were a part of, that can catalyst you into other roles, which we're going to talk about here on the next segment. Let me ask you something. Do you miss the show?
Oh, very much so. And I especially miss Gandolfini, who was a wonderful, wonderful guy. If you ever hear any negative things about him, they're totally false. This guy was a great guy. He treated everybody the same. He took you aside, asked you about your family. A wonderful, wonderful guy. And I miss the show a lot, yes, but I'm always reminded of it because, there's so many people around that just keep bringing it up and keep bringing it up, and now a lot of people have gone back and looked at the episodes again, 9 years later. It's just one of those things. Some people consider it the best dramatic TV show in the history of television.
People I know, they have all the series they watch from the beginning to the end. It's become a Godfather feel in a different sense. Let me ask you something, because one of my biggest questions was, did you work much with James Gandolfini? May he rest in peace. How was it? And was he a neighborhood guy? What kind of guy was he?
Yeah, he treated everybody the same, whether you were a star or whether you were a member of the crew. Like if you were an electrician or a carpenter on the set. He was just a humble, great, humble guy, nothing like his character. And he would, like I said, call me aside many times and say, come on, sit over here, talk to me, how your kids doing, how the grandkids.
Yeah.
And he was just a great guy.
Yeah, down the herd guy, and it was sad. It was sad when we got that news. I got 2 more real quick. We got 9 seconds on this segment. We're going to come back with my buddy Artie Pasquale, Sopranos, ton of other things we're going to talk about. Fletch, I want to welcome you back to the show, okay? Merry Christmas to you, my friend. And Vin, this goes out to Artie. Was the show his favorite project he's ever worked on?
Well, obviously, The Sopranos, was the most significant. Yeah, I mean, there are different movies and different things that I've done, but The Sopranos stands out to be part of something that's historical, in television. It's really an honor, Like I said, I'm lucky. I'm a lucky guy. I caught a break with this, and I still maintain a relationship with a lot of the guys, and that's continued also. We do a lot of benefits, different things, and that just continues. That family atmosphere that was there was terrific. I mean, I can't imagine doing anything more significant than that.
Well, listen, my brother. I want to say God bless to you on that break. It's very important as an actor. Okay, we're going to come back. We got 2 more segments. You're watching the Joey Ciccone Show, connected live from Las Vegas, World Center of Broadcast Media. I'll be back with my new friend and a fellow actor, Artie Pasquale.